In this instruction video I will explain you how to use a BIM-based design process for your collaborative design project. First, some general information about BIM. Then I will explain various standards used in the BIM-based design process. And finally, some explanation of the actual workflow. Building information modeling is an information management method for construction projects based on the consequent use of digital models across the entire life cycle of a built facility. Building information model focuses on the actual model, while building information management includes a much broader definition of information management. The models comprise both the 3D geometry of the building components as well as a comprehensive set of semantic information, including function, materials, and relationships between the objects. A BIM model provides a high-level digital representation of the real building and forms an optimal basis for computational applications. The application of BIM methods provides significant benefits when compared with conventional drawing-based processes, resulting in more efficient processes, reduced errors in the building design and construction, and improved transparency of the construction process. This ultimately helps to reduce costs and risks with respect to time and budget overruns. IFC is the primary open standard to exchange building information models. The construction sector produces a wide variety of information. IFC is aimed at harmonizing these heterogeneous sources of information. Different disciplines can use IFC to model their information. The use of open data models such as IFC provides more flexibility for data exchange, because it is an open file format that can be read and used by many BIM applications. As such, it is very different from proprietary data formats, which can only be used in the corresponding software applications. IFC is sometimes called the PDF of BIM, because an IFC file is a frozen copy of the original content. It can be viewed, measured, used for clash detection, cost estimation, simulation and innumerable other uses, but should not be edited. IFC is part of a set of standards from Building Smart International that support Open BIM. This creates a collaborative process that is vendor-neutral based on open standards and workflows. In the Open BIM workflow there is no single central model that everyone can access and modify as they like. Every project participant has their own model, of which they are the sole author. These models, or copies of them, are then exchanged at agreed intervals. A crucial topic in this regard is the notion of aspect models. The building industry has a fragmented nature with a variety of norms, standards and methods. It is not necessary to impose a uniform way of working onto the entire building team. Instead, projects can be decomposed into parts that cover different disciplines or spatial regions of the building. By combining the different aspect models, an aggregate view can be created. In an aggregated or federated model, there is a central model as a result of the periodic aggregation of multiple disciplinary building information models. These models are models created by the various disciplines involved, such as the architect, the structural engineer, etc. The aggregated building information model is used, for example, for clash detection, the generation of cost documents, planning, etc. To create a central environment for this information, a CDE is used. A common data environment is a single source of information, used to collect, organize, manage, and disseminate all relevant project documentation among multidisciplinary project team members. A CDE provides dedicated access areas for the different project stakeholders combined with status definitions and a workflow for sharing and approval processes. In a CDE, information requirements and workflows are used to organize the production of information and its exchange during different project stages. The CDE also provides revision management. This means that new versions of the models can be added over time and design variants can be compared. The centralization of data and information is the basis for all collaborative processes. BCF is a building smart standard that supports workflow communication in BIM processes. BCF is meant for better aligning of issues, like results of a model check, but also expectations, comments, or remarks. BCF is a data-driven way of communicating issues between different software tools. Where IFC is being used to exchange BIM models, BCF is the solution to communicate about these models. Issues can be shared through files or cloud-based synchronization. When issues are found in one application, for example the coordination software, they need to be passed on to other users in other applications. Passing on those issues are the core reason of BCF. Instead of having to compare large models with each other, communication can be achieved using small BCF snippets which focus directly on the issues that need to be resolved. Collaboration goes better when the information is exchangeable, structured, unambiguous, correct, complete and reusable. This requires coordination upfront. Construction companies in the Netherlands have joined forces to come up with common agreements in the BIM Basic IDM. The structure of BIM is fixed, the interpretation is project-specific. The BIM Basic IDM contains agreements on how the structure of the aspect models is set up, so that different aspect models can be exchanged and interpreted. It is important for every project team to clearly define their information needs. Therefore, the BIM Basic IDM also contains agreements about which information is provided by whom and when. More information, including instructions on how to conform to these agreements in several BIM authoring tools, is provided on their website. And now for an example of what this BIM-based design workflow could look like. First, a design is made in a design tool such as Revit or ArchiCAD. This design is regularly exported in IFC and uploaded to the CDE. The IFC files from all the different disciplines are used to create an aggregate model in a coordination tool. The coordination tool is used to check the models for issues and make comments. These issues and comments are then uploaded back to the CDE as BCF files. The designer can open these BCF files in his design tool and modify the model. This process continues throughout the stages of the design process until the design is finished. For the collaborative design project, it is important to create a workflow for the design assignment you received, consisting of ICT tools that supports data monitoring. There does not exist a perfect workflow of ICT tools. The best design, engineering, and data management tools can be different for every project team or company. The CDE can be one environment, but can also be a combination of connected data environments. The tools that you want to use should be accessible to you. Beware of limitations for educational licenses or trial versions. So, to summarize, a BIM model provides a high-level digital representation of the real building. Open standards and workflows can be used to create a collaborative design process that is software vendor independent. Want to know more about BIM? Then check out the resources on the slide.